Hi, so on this video, I'm going to explain to you the difference between setting up proportions between the figures and within a figure. Question number 6 on your homework tonight is where I got this diagram from. And question number 5 in your homework asks you to set up the proportion between the figures and also within the figures. In this question number 6, this is from number 6, we were told that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. I'm going to use this example, which had asked us to find these missing sides, the x and y. I'm going to use that example to teach you that concept. First of all, the way the pictures are sitting, it's a little difficult to set up the proportion however I set it up, because this triangle here isn't sitting the same way that triangle ABC is. So it's hard to set up the corresponding sides. So the first thing I did was rotate triangle DEF so that it's sitting in the same exact position as triangle ABC. A is at the top here, so I put D at the top. B is at the lower bottom, so E is at the lower bottom. And I just set up the corresponding sides appropriately. Now let's make a column for between and a column for within. I'll show you the difference setting up the proportions. Between figures means I'm going to alternate between the two figures to get my ratios. If I want to find x, and I start with x, x corresponds to the 4.5. So I'm going to go between the two figures. X corresponds to 4.5 as I'll go back and then I'll grab the 2.5, which corresponds to the 3.75. So there's my proportion going between the two figures. Let me clear that up a little bit before we set up within. Now to set up within, this was x. Now if I want to set up within a figure, that means I stay within one figure to get my first ratio. So I'm going to take x and put it over 2.5. Notice I didn't go between the two, I just stayed in one figure. That ratio, x corresponded to 4.5, so now I'm going to go within the next figure. I'll stay within here to set up the next ratio. 4.5, which corresponds to the x, over 3.75, which corresponds to the 2.5. So I stayed within each figure. Let's compare now. If I do my cross products for the between, x gets multiplied by 3.75, and 2.5 gets multiplied by 4.5. Looking at the within, x gets multiplied by 3.75, and the 4.5 gets multiplied by 2.5. So these two proportions come out to be the same. No matter how I set it up, between or within, my proportions come out the same. That's it. So example number 5 was just having you set it up both ways to prove to you that the answer will come out the same. I hope that helped.